Alright everyone, so I wanted to shoot a video today. We've got sub-freezing temperatures, so today we're looking at about 28 degrees. So I just kind of want to show you what the startup looks like and just do a quick drive and go through some of the differences between cold weather driving in a Prius and warm weather driving. So let's go ahead and start it up. So as you could hear, within about 5 seconds it started up. I don't have any climate control on, so that wasn't anything dictating that the engine starts. So it was strictly battery temperature that, told the Prius that it needs to start up. So what we'll do is we will go ahead and turn on the climate control. And one of the big questions I had when I purchased this vehicle was, can the car shut off with the heat going? Or does the engine have to continually run? And the answer is yes, it can shut off, and it's much like summer driving in that aspect. So let's go right ahead and start driving. Alright, now one thing I have noticed too is, along with the engine starting up quicker, the battery also tends to drain quicker in the beginning. So as everything's going through its warming up cycle, it actually is using a lot more of the battery a lot quicker, which, I guess is something you'd probably expect. The other thing you could probably guess I'm going to talk about is the gas mileage decline. Definitely not as good as it is in the summer, and I think a lot of it is because of the startup. So right now you can tell I'm getting 11.4 miles to the gallon, and there's been times this summer where I've been able to make this commute and not kick the gas engine on for probably about the first mile. And here, since it's running right away, your first 5-10 minutes of your trip, your gas mileage is going to suffer quite a bit. So that's something to kind of keep in mind, as well as if you take a lot of short trips in the winter. If everything's below say 5 miles, your mileage is not going to be that great in the winter, and that's with any vehicle, but the Prius is not immune to that. And as you can probably see, when the temperature gets to 37 degrees Fahrenheit or less, the temperature display will flash for about 15 seconds, letting you know that the roads could be slippery. And the engine is not shut off yet, which in the summer it would have been off by now. The warm-up cycle would have been complete. And you can tell we've got the climate control set to 69 degrees, and we have no fan speed going at all yet. So it's not kicking on. It's smart enough, intelligent enough to know that we don't have heat yet built up, so we're not going to kick the fan on. And right now it just kicked on, so what was that, maybe 3-4 minutes? It decided that yes, we could start kicking that on a little bit. So we'll just see how long it takes here before the EV mode will allow us to go without any use of the gas motor. Overall, the actual drivability feels very similar to that when it's warm. I would say that I hear the gas engine running maybe a little bit more. It's a little bit more labored than it is in the summer. And yesterday we actually took a highway trip, and we had very strong winds coming against us, and I got the worst gas mileage I've had in over 6 months of ownership, at 43.5 miles to the gallon on a 30-mile trip, which you could just feel the wind. We were almost in power mode the whole way back, just fighting that wind. So here we're on downhill slope. We've been going 1.5 miles, still no EV mode. So it's still trying to warm up. taking off here. Now we've got about 4 bars on our fan here speed, so I can start to feel the warm air, and it is also smart enough to know to send heat towards your feet. And in the summer, the cool goes up in the air, so it, you know, as heat rises, it shoots it to your feet, which is kind of nice. You get toasty warm toes in the winter. And now we just kicked on EV mode after 1.7 miles, so that does not mean we're fully warmed up here, but it means it has enough heat to cycle on and off the gas engine. I have noticed the highway driving is pretty similar to what it was in the summer. You know, by that time the engine is fully warmed and there's not much of a difference there. Something else I'd like to talk about is I had my first service done on the car, 5,000 miles. I've got the brake recall fixed, which took about 45 minutes at the dealership. Not a big deal, don't notice any differences. And beyond that, it's the joys of Prius ownership, where basically all they had to do was rotate the tires and top off fluids, and everything looked good, so it had a clean bill of health. The only thing I thought that was a little bit odd was the brake pad wear was down 1 bar already on either the fronts or the backs. I'm assuming it was the fronts, but I thought that was a little bit odd because that was one thing I was banking on being a good feature with this vehicle, was that the maintenance would be, you know, a lot less, especially when it comes to brake pad wear, since you're using a lot of the regenerative brakes. So you know, it's just kind of something to keep in mind. Notable point. Okay, so we've been driving about 3 miles and I'm averaging 35 miles to the gallon. We'll set our cruise control here. And the gas mileage is going to creep up a little bit. My commute to work, I've been seeing, you know, probably in the upper 50s right now. And in the summer, I was getting 60s and 70s. So I'm getting that typical winter drop, which is to be expected. Our gas stations are now doing a winter blend on the gas, which also doesn't help with gas mileage at all. So I wanted to show some in-town driving, some highway. We're going to go back in town here and you know, just kind of see what that little loop does for gas mileage. We're up to about 38 miles to the gallon and climbing. So just shows you what kind of a drop you can expect. Another thing I've noticed too, just another random fact with the Prius, is that when you've got cruise control on, it will not kick EV mode on at all. So cruise control on, it will not go into EV mode, even in scenarios where you're off the gas. And EV mode would normally kick in if you were driving manually. So, you know, just kind of an odd thing there. Not sure why they did that, but something to note. And as you'll notice here, you know, we can kick in EV mode for quite a while, just like we would in the summer months. And if I kept driving here as it's warming up, you can tell the gas mileage is going up. You know, I could easily get into the EPA range here if I just kept going, but I wanted to show the amplified effect of the cold weather here and what that does to the gas mileage. So I hope you enjoyed the video. We got 42.6 miles per gallon, and just wanted to do a quick 5-mile jaunt here, just a little bit less than 5 miles. I hope you enjoyed the video, and thank you for watching. Please subscribe for more Prius videos.